Some mornings, things aren't cracked, just far away. You open your eyes. Motion begins without thought. Tasks get done one after another. Underneath it all, something lingers unspoken. Not shouting, not demanding attention, just present, quietly staying put. This changes nothing. What shifts is how you move through days, putting off what counts. You say it quietly, later, maybe after everything calms down, once there's enough time, when the moment feels right. Yet preparation seldom shows up uninvited. Life looked tidy when described in words. Daniel had work that paid the bills. His days moved like clockwork. He kept a neat place, though mostly empty shelves and bare walls showed how little time he spent there. Each morning unfolded one step at a time. The beep of the alarm, steam rising in the bathroom, dark liquid poured into a chipped mug, then streets swallowed him whole. Night came back differently, quieter, slower. It wasn't that he felt bad, more like he never really arrived. Time moved on, slow but steady. These were not terrible days, nor especially bright ones, only time ticking by. In his mind, he said it was preparation, putting cash aside, pausing until things made sense, stocking up strength for a future that felt real, that felt like his. One day, maybe years off, pages would form under his hands. Thoughts long held back might finally settle into words on paper. One day would bring steps into unknown places. One day, maybe, someone would finally speak to those important few. One day, life would shift when he quit holding his breath. That moment arrives not with fanfare, but a quiet step forward. Yet time pushed that day farther away. Something shifted, though slowly. He noticed it more each day. Not through drama or sudden change, but weight piled up without warning. Getting out of bed took effort now. Words between people lacked depth. Smiles needed pushing. It struck him one day. The number of times he whispered, "I'll do it tomorrow." Plans that never left the quiet corners of his mind began to show their faces. Notebooks, tucked away and forgotten, held sketches of wishes gone stale. Darkness brought back choices made long ago. Lying still, memories slipped in without warning. A chance once stood close, yet fear held him quiet. Silence answered the knock, so it walked away. Safety felt heavy now, not like comfort. Perhaps things would be different had he begun earlier. Perhaps courage would have changed things. If life took another path, who knows what might have changed? He kept changing the tale of what came before, always looking for the moment things went wrong. That night, Daniel moved across the grass of a still park while heading back. Not hot, not cool. The breeze carried an odd middle feeling. Up ahead, someone older rested on wood, slow in motion, eyes tracking how branches rocked above. His pace dropped, though he did not plan it. A glance upward, then a smile. Not the stiff sort passed between people who do not know each other. This one carried warmth. It held his shape like it already knew. "You walk like someone carrying something heavy," the man said. Daniel laughed. Awkward. "Just tired, I guess." The man nodded. Tired from doing? Or tired from waiting? That query hit Daniel in a way he hadn't seen coming. His lips parted, ready to speak, then froze. Not knowing was the truth. The man leaned back, eyes steady. "I waited too, for the right time, for certainty, for permission I didn't need." He paused. "Turns out, perfect timing doesn't exist. Only now, and what you choose to do with it." He paused, just for a breath. After that, he kept moving forward. Still, what was said did not leave. Outside, the rain smeared the pane into streaks of gray. His thoughts kept circling back to what the stranger had asked. What if exhaustion comes from moving too much? What about when stillness drains you just as deep? A weight pressed against his ribs. It wasn't sharp, just there, like a stone left too long in a coat pocket. Exhaustion settled in, slow and heavy. Not from moving, but from staying still too long. Each day stretched longer than the last, filled with silence instead of steps forward. Confidence never arrived on schedule, always just out of reach. Courage seemed like something others carried naturally. Worthiness felt earned only after perfection, which never came. Yet here it stood. This solitary copy. Imperfect. Hesitant. Trapped. Being trapped wasn't forced. It quietly came from saying yes to the same path every day. The following dawn, Daniel left out one tiny thing he usually did. Not that it made a difference. He just wanted to feel how it was when habit cracked open. Something sat wrong. Not just off, like a door that wouldn't close right. A quiet pull inside kept nagging, whispering how things used to line up. The thought lingered longer than it should have. Yet his stance did not waver. Homebound, a new street pulled his steps. Not pretty, but changed. Through change, space bent, seconds lingered. Thinking grew quiet. Details arrived. A laugh from inside. Sun hitting brick at dusk. He felt awake. Not a sprint, but quiet moves shaped what came next. Step by step, things shifted without noise. Saying no came easier now, especially to what just took up hours for no reason. No more words wasted on those who never got it from the start. Silence stayed silent, not something to run from anymore. Far into Saturday, he lifted the cover of the notebook. Silence sat between him and the empty sheets. A line appeared in ink, followed by one more. Rough edges showed. Unfinished thoughts stayed visible. Truth filled each mark. Not quite the storybook just then. Still, something started here. A quick getaway caught his attention. Not fancy at all, just 2 days in a place he did not know. When hesitation showed up, maybe now isn't ideal, he moved forward anyway. Since waiting never really ends, some task will linger. That perfect moment called readiness stays floating ahead. It started to seem real again, not just a thing watched from afar, but lived inside. Gradually, moments carried weight they hadn't in years. Some things stayed the same. His job remained part of each day. Evenings were calm, just like before. Doubt showed up regularly, sometimes most days. Yet the burden eased. Not completely. Only so far that air could fill the lungs again. It struck him one day, the number of folks standing still, holding their breath. Some wanted smaller bodies, others more money, a different age, a fresh start. They paused life, hoping for fixes that may never arrive. Each waited on something just out of reach. He noticed something new that day. Staying put did not mean being calm. It meant hiding behind care while really trembling inside. Fall had turned the trees thin by then. Empty space waited on that wooden seat, cold under gray light. Not a trace of the stranger's sense. Yet something kept humming inside his head. What if exhaustion comes from moving too much? Maybe it hides in stillness instead. It clicked suddenly, clear and sharp in his mind. This tale doesn't start with Daniel alone. Belonging finds it wherever someone waited, held breath, for life to line up right. Where courage grew quiet, while dread shrank slow. When preparedness finally showed up unannounced. Stillness stays. Action shapes what comes next. Moving through awkward moments carves a path. Preferring motion instead of waiting for perfect clarity changes how things unfold. Out there, someone spends years getting ready. That one instant arrives, without asking for flawless execution. Just showing up matters instead. A lifetime builds toward what needs nothing more than being there. Here it is, plain. Waiting for ideal moments leads nowhere. Time moves whether plans are ready. Choices shape how it's spent. Nothing more. One day never shows up. That idea just sits there, blocking the first step. Starting is never the real challenge. What weighs heavier? Knowing delay brings no clarity. More days pass without fixing doubt. Living fully kicks off when you quit seeking approval from what hasn't happened yet. Fear still lived in Daniel's bones. That morning, nothing magical had changed inside him. That moment, he quit holding his breath for someone he wasn't even close to becoming. There, in the quiet halt, came the thing he had sought his whole life. Not perfect timing, only what he has. A life sitting there, ready when he is. Dap is, in dap is,